free, and to rig the rules that they stay in power for a decade. We need to wake people up to this danger. It is our job, it is our duty to make sure that Britain does not sleepwalk into this. And that's what I need your help with. Because yes, many people may want to say the result of this election is a foregone conclusion, but I believe in my bones that it is not, and I think you do too. You saw just the other day the analysis that shows 130,000 votes. 130,000 people, that's it. If they change their minds and decide to support us, it can deprive Keir Starmer of that supermajority that he so desperately craves. So I know you are tired. I know you have been working hard, but I have to ask you to give it one last push. We cannot surrender to Labour. We need to fight for every vote. We need to fight for our values, and most importantly, we need to fight for our vision of Britain. Yes. Now, Caroline's been in Parliament since 2010, and I've heard a lot over this campaign about our record over those 14 years. But let me tell you this. When we came into office in 2010, we had to rescue our country's economy after it had been bankrupted by the Labour Party. And despite that inheritance, what have we delivered? We delivered the fastest economic growth, third fastest in the G7. We've created 800 jobs a day. We've restored security to our public finances, which then allowed us to support the country through COVID, through the energy bills. We've made sure that we reform the welfare system so that work always pays. We've halved crime. We've protected pensioners with the triple lock. We've reduced child poverty. We've reduced pensioner poverty. We've made sure that thanks to our reforms, our children are the best educated, best readers in the Western world. We've made sure that we are the #1 defence power in Europe. We've supported Ukraine. We had the fastest vaccine rollout in the pandemic. We've stood up for our values and our allies around the world. And we got Brexit done. I don't know about you, that is a record I'm mighty proud of. But look, we have to recognise that despite that, people do have a hesitation about giving us their support again. And I understand that. I'm not blind to the fact that it's been a difficult few years for the country with COVID, the war in Ukraine and bills. I understand people's frustrations with me, with our party. But I say this, tomorrow's vote is not a by-election. It's not a referendum about the past. It's a choice about the future of our country. A choice that is going to have severe consequences for each and every family if we get that choice wrong. Just think what a Labour government with a supermajority would do. That government has no plan to tackle migration. You saw it in the debates. Did Keir Starmer have a single answer to my question about migration? Nothing. He would make us the soft touch of Europe when it comes to this issue. That's why they're queuing up in Calais right now, waiting for Keir Starmer. When it comes to our security and defence, at a time that is more dangerous than we've seen in decades, the Conservatives are increasing defence investment. What would Keir Starmer do in his first week in power? Would go off to the NATO summit, having cut those plans, putting us at the back of the room and sending a signal of weakness to our adversaries like Putin. When it comes to energy security, I've made sure that we prioritise homegrown energy, making sure that we get to net zero, but we do it in a sensible, proportionate way that doesn't saddle people with thousands of pounds. We would reverse those changes in a heartbeat because he's in ideological hock to the eco-extremists. That's not in our national interests. And most of all, we know that he would hike taxes by thousands of pounds. Your car, your home, your savings, your pension, your work, you name it, they will tax it. It's in their DNA. Why? Because they are socialists. They believe that your money belongs to them. Be in no doubt, a vote tomorrow is a vote for the Conservatives to cut your taxes. That's what we believe, and that's what we'll deliver. For everyone who works hard, we want them to keep more of your hard-earned money. That's why we'll cut taxes on national insurance. For those entrepreneurs and risk takers, we'll abolish national insurance for the self-employed to create a culture of enterprise. For young couples wanting to buy their first home, we'll abolish stamp duty so that everyone can fulfill those aspirations of home ownership. For families, we'll expand the generosity of child benefit because all of us in this room know family is the most precious thing in all of our lives. And for pensioners who have worked hard all their lives, they deserve dignity and security in retirement with our triple lock plus, not facing a retirement tax on their pension for the first time in our country's history under Labour. So be in no doubt, a vote tomorrow is a vote for the Conservatives to cut your taxes. Now, in conclusion, I'll just say this. I love our country for what it has done for my family. My grandparents emigrated here with very little. And 2 generations later, I stand before you with the enormous privilege of having been not just your Chancellor during the pandemic, but also your Prime Minister. I don't think my story will be possible in any other country in the world. And that should give us an enormous sense of pride and strength about what this country is about. This country gave my parents the opportunity to work hard and build a better life for their children. I'm not just grateful to our country for everything it's done for me, I'm enormously grateful to my parents too. And that is why I do this job. In the same way that this country made a difference to my family, I will work day and night if I'm given the opportunity again to deliver for all of you, your families, and everyone across our country. Because ultimately, we all know it is only us Conservatives that can cut people's taxes and deliver the financial security that they deserve. It is only us Conservatives that share people's values of hard work, aspiration, opportunity, security. It is only us Conservatives that ultimately can stand up to the Labour Party. So I say it again, we have 24 hours left. We do not surrender to Labour. We will fight for every vote. We will fight for our values, and we will fight for our vision of Britain.